Good morning, classmates. Good morning, Dean. I am Maria Cristina Manaxa, and today I will be discussing the second part of Chapter 10, E-commerce, Digital Goods, and Digital Markets. But first, we have here our course intended learning outcomes. At the end of the module, the students are expected to understand on how the e-commerce transform marketing, appreciate how e-commerce has affected business-to-business transactions, and understand the importance of business objectives in building a successful e-commerce website. And so what is e-commerce marketing? While e-commerce and the internet have changed entire industries and enable new business models, no industry has been more affected than marketing and marketing communications. The internet provides marketers with new ways of identifying and communicating with customers at cost far lower than traditional media, including search engine marketing, data mining, recommender systems, and targeted email. This also enables long-tail marketing or the ability to reach a large audience inexpensively. It also practices behavioral targeting, which refers to tracking the click streams or the history of clicking behavior of individuals on thousands of websites for the purpose of understanding their interests and intentions and exposing them to advertisements that are uniquely suited to their behavior. They also record the specific pages visited on the particular site, the time spent on each page of the site, the types of page visited, and the visitor's purchase. Moving on, let us examine further the example in Figure 10-3, which is the website visitor tracking. Click 1. The shopper clicks on the home page. The store can tell that the shopper arrived from the Yahoo portal at 2:30 p.m., which might help determine staffing for customer service centers and how long she lingered on the home page, which might indicate trouble navigating the site. The shopper clicks on blouses, clicks to select a woman's white blouse, then clicks to view the same item in pink. The shopper clicks to select this item in a size 10 in pink and clicks to place in her shopping cart. This information can help the store determine which sizes and colors are most popular. From the shopping cart page, the shopper clicks to close the browser to leave the website without purchasing the blouse. This action could indicate the shopper changed her mind or that she had a problem with the website's checkout and payment process. Such behavior might signal that the website was not well designed. Figure 10-3 or e-commerce websites have tools to track a shopper's every step through an online store. Close examination of customer behavior at a website selling women's clothing shows that the store might learn at each step and what action it could take to increase sales. Website personalization. Firms can create unique personalized web pages that display content or ads for products or services of special interest to individual users, improving the customer experience and creating additional value. For example, General Motors will show a Chevrolet banner ad to women emphasizing safety and utility, while men will receive different ads emphasizing power and ruggedness. Here we have an illustration how an advertising network such as DoubleClick works. Popular websites download dozens of web tracking cookies, bugs, and beacons which report user online behavior to remote servers without the user's knowledge. For example, here we have the consumer. Consumer requests web page from ad network member site to merchant site. Merchant server connects to DoubleClick ad server. Then the DoubleClick.net ad server reads cookies, check database for profile. Then DoubleClick.net has network member firms. And then DoubleClick follows consumer from site to site through use of web bags. Advertising networks have become controversial among privacy advocates because of their ability to track individual consumers across the internet. Moving on, what is business-to-business e-commerce? B2B e-commerce refers to the commercial transactions that occur among business firms. The trade between business firms represents a huge marketplace. The process of conducting trade among business firms is complex and requires significant human interventions. Therefore, it consumes significant resources. The challenge of B2B e-commerce is changing existing patterns and systems of procurement and designing and implementing new internet-based B2B solutions. About 80% of online B2B e-commerce is still based on proprietary systems for electronic data interchange, or what we call EDI. Electronic data interchange enables the computer-to-computer exchange between two organizations of standard transactions such as invoices, bills of lading, shipment schedules, or purchase orders. Each major industry in the United States and much of the rest of the world has EDI standards that define the structure and information fields of electronic documents for that industry. Although some companies still use EDI for document automation, firms engage in just-in-time inventory replenishment and continuous production use EDI as a system for continuous replenishment. Suppliers have online access to selected parts of the purchasing firm's production and delivery schedules and automatically ship materials and goods to meet pre-specified targets without intervention by firm purchasing agents, as we will see in Figure 10-6 in the next slide. Although many organizations still use private networks for EDI, they are increasingly web-enabled because Internet technology provides a much more flexible and low-cost platform for linking to other firms. Let us look at the illustration in Figure 10-6 to explain further how EDI works. Companies use EDI to automate transactions for B2B e-commerce and continuous inventory replenishments. Suppliers can automatically send data about shipments to purchasing firms. The purchasing firms can use EDI to provide production and inventory requirements and payment data to suppliers. Alternatively, businesses can use Internet technology to create extranets or electronic marketplaces for linking to other businesses for purchase and sale transactions. Private industrial networks typically consist of a large firm using an extranet to link to its suppliers and other key business partners, as we will see in the next slide. Secondly, the network is owned by the buyer and it permits the firm and designated suppliers, distributors, and other business partners to share product design and development, marketing, production scheduling, inventory management, and unstructured communication, including graphics and email. Figure 10-7 illustrates a private industrial network links a firm to its suppliers, distributors, and other key business partners for efficient supply chain management and other collaborative commerce activities. Another Internet-enabled mechanism for B2B is net marketplaces, which is also called e-hubs. These provide a single digital marketplace based on Internet technology for many different buyers and sellers, as we will see in the next slide. It is an industry owned or operate as independent intermediaries between buyers and sellers. It generates revenue from purchase and sale transactions and other services to clients. It establishes prices through online negotiation, auctions, requests for quotations, or can use fixed prices. Some net marketplaces sell direct goods and some sell indirect goods. Direct goods are goods used in a production process such as sheet steel for auto body production. Indirect goods are all other goods not directly involved in the production process, such as office supplies or products for maintenance and repair. Some net marketplaces serve vertical markets for specific industries, such as automobiles, telecommunications, or machine tools, whereas others serve horizontal markets for goods and services that can be found in many different industries, such as office equipment or transportation. Here we have the illustration of a net marketplace wherein we have a multiple suppliers and on the other side a group of multiple buyers. Net marketplaces are online marketplaces where multiple buyers can purchase from multiple sellers. The last one of B2B e-commerce mechanism is exchanges. Exchanges are independently owned third-party net marketplaces that connect thousands of suppliers and buyers for spot purchasing. Many exchanges provide vertical markets for a single industry such as food, electronics, and industrial equipment that primarily deal with direct inputs. Exchanges proliferated during the early years of e-commerce, but many have failed. Suppliers were reluctant to participate because the exchanges encouraged competitive bidding that drove prices down and did not offer any long-term relationships with buyers or services to make lowering prices worthwhile. Moving on to mobile e-commerce, m-commerce has taken off. M-commerce is the fastest growing form of e-commerce, with some areas expanding at a rate of 50% or more per year. The main areas of growth in mobile e-commerce are number one, location-based services. For example, Wikitrue.me provides a special kind of browser for smartphones equipped with a built-in global positioning system or GPS and compass that can identify your precise location and where the phone is pointed. For example, users can point their smartphone cameras towards mountains from a tour bus and see the names and heights of the mountains displayed on the screen. Second one is banking and financial services. Banks and credit card companies are rolling out services that let customers manage their accounts from their mobile devices. JP Morgan Chase and Bank of America customers can use their cell phones to check account balances, transfer funds, and pay bills. The third one is wireless advertising and retailing. Example is Google. Google is displaying ads linked to cell phone searches by users of the mobile version of its search engine, while Microsoft offers banner and text advertising on its MSN mobile portal in the United States. And the last one is games and entertainment. Cell phones have developed into portable entertainment platforms. Smartphones like the iPhone and Android offer downloadable streaming, digital games, movies, TV shows, music, and ringtones. Here we have the illustration of the growth rate of m-commerce for the year 2009 to 2014. Mobile e-commerce is the fastest growing type of B2C e-commerce, although it represents only a small part of all e-commerce in 2010. How to build an e-commerce website. Building a successful e-commerce site requires a keen understanding of business, technology, and social issues, as well as a systematic approach. The two most important management challenges in building a successful e-commerce site are number one, developing a clear understanding of your business objectives, and number two, knowing how to choose the right technology to achieve these objectives. In planning your website, you need to answer the question, what do we want the e-commerce site to do for our business? The key lesson to be learned here is to let the business decisions drive the technology, not the reverse. This will ensure that your technology platform is aligned with your business objectives, system functionality, and information requirements must be properly laid out. Your planning should identify the number one business objectives, and then develop a list of system functionalities and information requirements. Business objectives are simply capabilities you want your site to have. For example, provide product information or the content. The number two is the system functionality. This is the types of information systems capabilities you will need to achieve your business objectives. An example for this is product database. And for number three, information requirements. For a system are the information elements that the system must produce in order to achieve the business objectives. Example is product description, stocking numbers, inventory levels. There are many choices for building and maintaining websites. Much depends on how much money you are willing to spend. Choices range from outsourcing the entire website development to an external vendor to building everything yourself, or we call it in-house. You also have a second decision to make. Will you host or operate the site on your firm's own servers, or will you outsource the hosting to a web host provider? There are some vendors who will design, build, and host your site, while others will either build or host, but not both. This figure 10-10 illustrates the alternatives. Here we have completely in-house, wherein the building is and the hosting is in-house. The other side is the mixed responsibility, where in the building is outsourced and the hosting is in-house. On the other side is mixed responsibility, wherein building is in-house and the hosting is outsourced. And completely outsourced, wherein both the building and the hosting is outsourced. And so we have here the budgets, or the components of a website budget. Simple websites can be built and hosted with a first-year cost of $5,000 or less. The websites of large firms with high levels of interactivity and linkage to corporate systems cost several $1 million a year to create and operate. This figure 10-11 provides some idea of the relative size of various website cost components. In general, the cost of hardware, software, and telecommunications for building and operating a website has fallen dramatically by over 50% since 2000, making it possible for very small entrepreneurs to create fairly sophisticated sites. At the same time, the cost of system maintenance and content creation have risen to make up more than half of typical website budgets. Providing content and smooth 24/7 operations are both labor-intensive. So these are the things we have to consider in budgeting our own website. This ends my presentation. Thank you for your time, everyone. God bless.